Now it's 6:30 on WKYT this morning. A light coating of snow causing a lot of problems across central Kentucky this morning. Nearly 100 school systems have canceled or delayed classes today.
We are also tracking several canceled flights in Lexington because of the blizzard that's pounding the Northeast.
And we're tracking a homicide investigation in Lexington. A man found shot to death in the back of a car.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. So good to have you along on WKYT this morning. A 2-hour delay for the Fayette County school system today and lots of closings. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. It really makes for a lovely winter scene out there. Obviously not so lovely sometimes on the roads, but let's check the latest of what the weather has in store for the rest of our morning with Micah.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of pictures on Twitter and on Facebook. You guys are sending those to me and I appreciate it very much. Just seeing those roads, there is not absolutely covered and blanketed with snow, but you are getting a glaze on the roadways and in some locations with some of these bursts. Nice little light coating. So you just got to watch out for that as you're traveling this morning, especially around that 75 corridor. That's where we've seen the best snow making its way through Richmond and Madison County. That's why you guys are out of school. You actually had a batch move through early this morning, and you're just adding to it as you make your way throughout the next couple of hours. Temperatures are in the 20s. It's cold enough to anything that falls will stick. We head toward the afternoon right around 30 degrees. We will see it really calm down this afternoon, so most of your snowfalls during the morning hours. I'll take you into tomorrow. It looks really good, and that's your only dry day in the 7-day. I'll have all that. Latest details coming up.
All right, we'll take the break we can get. Thank you, Micah.
And forecasters are walking back their most dire predictions of a Northeast blizzard as tens of millions of people hunker down.
Still, it is a big one up there. Some substantial snow totals are still being forecast, like up to 2 feet for Rhode Island and Connecticut. Earlier forecasters had been talking about 3 feet of snow and hurricane-force winds. This is a live picture from New York this morning. As you see a city there, still thousands of flights have been canceled, and that is backing up the national aviation system, impacting lots of travelers in Kentucky. Let's go to WKYT's Hillary Thornton live now at Bluegrass Airport with a look at the local impact of the Northeast blizzard. Hillary, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Snowplows are out here on the runways at Bluegrass Airport, keeping them clear of the snow that's currently falling in Lexington. But like you said, that's nothing compared to what they are getting in the Northeast, which is causing another day of cancellations and delays for travelers. Already 5 flights have been canceled here at Bluegrass Airport, 1 going to New York's LaGuardia Airport and 2 that were headed to Philadelphia. Also, 2 flights arriving from Philly are canceled. The delays and cancellations are hitting other airports in our region. Cincinnati already has more than 60 cancellations for today of flights both coming and going from places like Boston, Philadelphia, New York, and Hartford. 25 flights coming into Louisville and about 25 leaving for the Northeast are also already canceled, causing travelers to keep a close eye on their flight plans.
Basically just watching the news, watching my texts, checking in at home.
Now, airlines say they do expect more cancellations and delays as that snow keeps moving through the Northeast. Live in Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Hillary, thank you very much. And here locally, it's only taken a little bit of snow to cause some major challenges for drivers already today. We don't know of any serious crashes or delays this morning, but several school districts have called off school for today, and that includes Madison County. This is a live look at Main Street in downtown Richmond this morning. You can see the snow starting to cover the road there, and some of those back streets reported as snow covered throughout Richmond. Again, no reports so far of any major problems, but everybody kind of creeping along, which is a good thing to do in the situation. Well, it's because of those road conditions that Madison County schools are closed today. Several new closings and delays coming into our newsroom this morning, including Madison, Scott County, and Jessamine County schools all calling off classes today. Now keep checking the bottom of your screen or WKYT.com for the latest closings and delays.
Well, for the second time this year, Lexington police are investigating a homicide. A man was found shot to death last night on Johnston Road between Paris Pike and Bryan Station. This morning, the shooter is still on the run. WKYT's Mark Barber is live with this Crime Tracker report.
Good morning, Rebecca and Bill. Investigators say they found the man who was shot to death on what is usually a quiet road lined with horse farms. At this time, details are still very limited, but the coroner tells us they found the man in the backseat of the car around 7:30 last night on Johnston Road. Officers are still searching for the killer. They brought in canines to track the shooter, but so far no one has been found. This morning, there are still many questions about the man's death. We're told officers still don't know why the man was killed, when he was shot, or how many times he was hit. The coroner says he will do a closer examination today to try to find more information about the man's death.
This male subject appears to have died suffering gunshot wounds. At this point, I don't know if it's how many wounds, but it appears to be multiple. We are investigating this as a homicide death presently.
The man who died has not been identified yet. This is the second homicide in Lexington this year. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Well, new this morning, we are tracking a crime alert after an overnight robbery. Lexington police say 3 men got into an argument, but 2 of them followed the victim to his Cricklewood Drive home. Once inside, police say the victim was beaten. His cash and a knife were stolen. The victim was not taken to the hospital.
The time is 6:36 on WKYT this morning. Political leaders from around the country will be in Kentucky today to honor former U.S. Senator Wendell Ford. A private funeral will be held later this morning in Owensboro. Vice President Joe Biden will be among those attending the service. Ford dedicated his life to serving Kentucky. He was the first in the state's history to serve as lieutenant governor, and as U.S. Senator in immediate succession. Wendell Ford was 90 years old. An inmate who tried to escape from a Lexington prison didn't make it very far. Dustin Franks was reported missing from Blackburn Correctional Complex yesterday afternoon, and he was arrested about an hour later. The Kentucky Department of Corrections says Franks never made it off prison property. Franks is serving a 17-year sentence for burglary and forgery out of Grant County.
Work continues to repair a broken water main at a Kentucky high school. The leak at Lincoln County High School was first noticed last week when the water was shut off over the weekend so repairs could be made. When the water was turned back on yesterday, it was discolored. The school brought in bottled water to drink and cook with, but crews still have not found out exactly what caused the leak.
So far, it's the top of the list. I guess it'll still be the top. I don't know that you can top it.
And the school says it will have bottled water on hand again and available for students and staff today.
Well, police need some help in fighting a thief who they say is targeting women. Police say the man in these surveillance pictures broke into 2 cars parked outside of gyms in central Kentucky. In each case, they say he stole a purse. The first crime was reported in Harrodsburg.
He had targeted an elderly person going into the gym to work out. Obviously, she left her purse laying in the car. He was targeting that. And after she had went in, he knows he's got a little bit of time, waited till the lot was clear, took a rock, busted out the window, grabbed her purse.
Police say the man racked up thousands of dollars on the victim's credit card. They say he did the same thing outside of a gym in Frankfort.
Well, the pilot of a small plane was rescued after running out of fuel over the Pacific Ocean.
Lou Morton was headed from California to Hawaii. U.S. Coast Guard video shows his small plane ran into trouble about 250 miles off the coast of Maui. He radioed for help. Authorities guided him toward a cruise ship. About 4 hours later, with fuel running out, Morton released the plane's emergency parachute.
As soon as he deployed his parachutes, we were following him, and basically what we did, we continued following his track as much as possible.
Glad to report the pilot is in good condition. Astonishingly, a second small plane low on fuel also crash-landed Sunday evening near Hawaii. 3 adults and a child were rescued in that situation. The NTSB is investigating both incidents. Well, caught on tape, a construction worker is recovering after being run over by a car. After seeing the surveillance footage, he can hardly believe that he survived. Travis Roberts was working in a manhole in a parking lot when that incident occurred. Roberts said he had about 8 cones surrounding him when a driver went into the restricted area and simply ran over him. Wow, it is. I mean, you see that, and it is amazing to think.
Yeah,
that
in both
looks like
cases,
you'll be all right.
the guy with the plane and the water landing who was rescued.
Yeah.
I mean, how often do you hear a good outcome in that?
Right,
So,
exactly. Well, for once, luck on their
yeah.
side. 6:40 the time on WKYT this morning, and let's check live drive traffic. Update you on the situation out there with the road conditions. We're looking at Broadway and High Street, and folks are moving along okay in the downtown area. Reminder that the Fayette County school system is on a 2-hour delay this morning. That, of course, affecting the traffic pattern, so maybe the rush will be a little bit different this morning, but everybody be careful, slow it down. We do have a lot of slick spots throughout the region. And there's more news coming up on WKYT this morning.
Who needs a soggy bun when your hot dog can be wrapped in fried chicken? Coming up, see the latest menu item from KFC.
We have some flakes flying around this morning, especially around that 75 corridor and back toward the west. Even getting some flakes over toward the eastern zones. A lot of this actually starts to fade away as we go throughout the morning hours. Then the next 48 hours look pretty decent. I'll show you that coming up.